Hello, great people. Human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi have spoken to the public. This is the first time he's speaking since his release from the Ekiti Correctional Facility. And as you can see on the screen, he was moved to tears because he became very emotional while thanking Nigerians, and in the process, he shed all tears. For somebody that is as fearless as Dele Farotimi to shed all tears, it shows say water really don't pass Gary. And in a moment, I'll leave you to hear from Dele Farotimi himself, how he got emotional and what really made him to shed tears. You'll be watching him in a moment. And when we come back, we'll be discussing some of the issues that Dele Farotimi raised in that particular video. We'll be doing that and a whole lot more on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omoyele. Let me leave you with Dele Farotimi, the human rights lawyer. Let's hear from him. Let's hear.
I have deliberately kept quiet before today, largely because you left me spellbound. I've been humbled. I'm not a man easily given to humility, but you have humbled me by what you have done before, particularly after my abduction. And I use the word deliberately. I was never arrested. I was abducted. We'll talk about that at some other point. But let's be clear, nobody silences the bell. I may not be silenced. I've merely started talking. So let's go to today's issue. So I want us to talk about the road to freedom. And there goes the note. I need to speak to you from the heart and from my spirit. The note I prepared was for a different sermon, but as we were waiting, I began to download something, yes, exactly the same, but subtly different. So the Yorubas have a scripture, and that scripture says very clearly, Emu, Eki, I'll translate for you or interpret. Grab it, catch it. You do not catch the porcupine in the same manner as the rabbit. Let me explain that to you. If you're familiar with the porcupine, you would know of the quills on his back, with which it largely impales stupid predators. Even lions steer clear of the porcupine. As small as it is, its entire body made of quills would kill a lion if it would dare. Now, when that proverb came to my head in the course of this entire ordeal, I made the stupid error of thinking that I was the porcupine and that those who were coming after me were the unwary predator. But I received some sense this morning. Or let me just say, as I have digested the extent and the range of support that I have found since I came out of prison. And I realized that I am not the porcupine. It's not me. I'm just as harmless and defenseless as any of the other rabbits in this space. You will remember that for a long time, I have argued that the Nigerian is not a citizen. I even went as far as to have labeled myself for years as the patriot of an unborn nation. And then I believe on my Twitter feed, you find me labeling myself a victim of Nigeria. And I have multiple times spoken to the victimhood of the Nigerian people. I have lamented for years that what truly assails the Nigerian is the complete absence of the rule of law in our country, and how this has left all of us defenseless and as praise in what has become a country of pain. I have spoken to you about this for years, I spoke to you about it, that we are all victims, that we have all become as victims in the country that we have managed to build. I told you how we were all running away. I told you how we were all running away from Nigeria because we have built an intolerable country unfit for human habitation. I have called it the evil empire. I have called it the evil empire. I've spoken to the fact that because of what we have all collectively tolerated, we have lost our country and we have become as slaves in the country that we have all built. And we are all to blame. It was the idiot standing behind pulpits as I'm speaking with you, preaching injustice and lies to the people and helping them to normalize the madness that has overtaken all of us. I said this for years. So I am just as much a victim as each and every one of you. These are the first tears I have shed since my friend Ogunlanu died. I'm not given to tears, and I'm sorry. See, back to the issue. We all built this. We made this mess together, and it will take all of us to resolve the mess that we have made. It will take all of us. Without all of us functioning as one, the way you found the grace to function as one in the last month, you all acted as one. It wasn't about being Christian, being Muslim. They divided us along too many lines. Damn. We stopped being human because we became Nigerians. They divided us and we fell for it. Because you wouldn't see me as a Yoruba man, you spoke for me. Because you wouldn't see me as a Christian, you spoke for me. Because you spoke. Because you spoke. Because you spoke. Because you spoke, Nigeria couldn't happen to me. Because you spoke. The only reason Nigeria couldn't happen to me is because you spoke. You spoke. That is why Nigeria couldn't happen to me. And yeah, Nigeria couldn't happen to me. Emu, Eki, Biteru Reko. You found your voices. I became you. And in our collective, you couldn't be silenced. And I could not be silenced. So it wasn't me that became the porcupine. It was you, the Nigerian citizens, that became the porcupine. So here is what we're going to do. First question I need you to ask yourself is this. How many of the people feeling the pains of the Nigerian state in detention or in prison deserve to be where they are? There's multiple people that I met in prison, and I'll yet speak to my prison and experience. But I assure you, I didn't shed a single tear. I was happy for the free accommodation. I didn't like the food and I didn't have to eat it. So I'm not talking about me in some pity form. I went to prison and I view it as a finishing school. It showed me exactly how ugly our country is.
There you have it. You just heard from human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi. You see, may Nigeria never happen to you. It's a very serious prayer. Very, very. You won't know what that prayer means until Nigeria happened to you. You see, what saved Dele Farotimi when Nigeria happened to him is Nigerians. And kudos to the Nigerian people for standing by Dele Farotimi. You see, for a man as fearless as Dele Farotimi to be moved to tears like that, it shows that he has really gone through a lot, and he's still going through a lot because he has a lot of case to defend. And if truly what is said in that book is true, then he will feel very bad that he went to prison for the truth. He was incarcerated because of the truth. And some of the people that are filing cases against him and incarcerated him know that what he's saying is the truth, but his only succumb is the Nigerian people. Kudos to Nigerian people. I usually say that it rarely occurs, but whenever it occurs that the Nigerian people are standing by you, it's as if God is standing by you, because if Nigerians want to stand by you, they will stand by you to the end. And if not that Nigerians truly stand by Dele Farotimi, you see, the establishment would have made a mess, a terrible mess of his life. And kudos to the Nigerian people. Kudos to Peter Obi anyway. Shout out to him. He really stood by Dele Farotimi. Kudos to Omoyele Sowore. These are people that, stood by him from the beginning to the end. And I hope that they will keep standing by him. And I hope that every reasonable and sane Nigerian will stand by Dele Farotimi. And I just pray that Dele Farotimi will be saved. And what I can say is, our dear Egmont, but that Dele, as Teju Babyface will say, please be very mindful of your security. May Nigeria never happen to you. It's a very serious prayer, because if Nigeria can happen to Bola Ige, if Nigeria can happen to Ken Saro-Wiwa, then you want to ask yourself, who is Dele Farotimi? If Nigeria can happen to Dele Giwa, so please be mindful of your security, because these people, some of these people, especially if it may not even be Afe Babalola, some people may just not feel secure, thinking that you have information about them, and one day you will just come out to speak, and once you speak, their career or anything that pertains to them is finished. You need to be mindful of such people. At this stage, you can't trust anybody. You really cannot trust anybody. So I would say, don't visit anybody anyhow. Don't eat it. In fact, don't lose guard. That's just what I can say. May God guide you. May God keep you. And may your release, may your freedom be everlasting. And may God grant you good health and happiness that you and your family so desire. Shout out to 57-year-old Dele Farotimi. I wish you the best of luck, Egbon. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode. See you in my next video.